Doing just fine. What about you? How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad.
All right. Good. Good. Yeah. Thanks for joining this call. I suggest we structure it the following way. So, you just tell me a little bit more about what in general led you to us. I assume you have some challenges in the performance management field, so I'd be glad to hear about that. After that, I will basically show you the platform and then hopefully hear your feedback. So yeah, feel free to share
Beautiful.
whatever you feel is relevant.
Excellent. Um, so I work for an organisation, AgVig Services. I have a lot to do with their HR procedures. I'm a business enablement and data security officer. So my role is streamlining processes, making things easier for the team. And part of that, or a reasonably large part of that, is software procurement for the organisation. And we have a need to get a better system in place for our PDPs. And your solution is one that I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. And what kind of what is your process for PDPs? What exactly are you trying to, measure, fix?
Yeah, great question. Look, the organisation has not done it particularly well. They haven't really got a great skills matrix process in place. So I'd like to get that sorted out for the org and be able to do some more effective executive reporting. And also for the team members themselves. It's a very small organisation. Just make PDP for the individual just an easier process to complete and also easier for the managers to support and enable their
Mm-hmm.
workers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Do you have any sort of performance reviews in your company in general, or?
Yep, we do. We have an annual performance review. We have a standard PDP cycle, which is based on the financial year with, it's a standard sort of process. So just have a set up your PDP mid-year review and then end of year
Mm-hmm.
performance appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. And you mentioned you have a small company. How many employees do you have?
At any one time, we have somewhere between 15 to 22 people working
Mm-hmm.
with the org. Yeah,
Okay, and all of them should, ideally have personal development plan.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Um, all right, all right. Thanks for sharing that. I think I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen, and then if
Yep.
you have any questions throughout our conversation, feel free to ask me. That way, we can have a more productive conversation. I suggest we start with the presentation just to give you a little bit of context of what our platform is.
Yep.
In general, we can separate it into two sections. So, one would be more relevant for managers and team leaders. That
Mm-hmm.
is everything that is related to OKRs, goals,
Yep.
one-on-ones and check-ins,
Yep.
real-time feedback and praises, and also personal development plans. We can also put it here. And on the other side, for HR teams, basically for you, it's 360 reviews, growth plans, measuring competencies, and also access to the people analytics.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and a little bit of a backstory why, in general, we decided to create the platform. Is that due to Gallup report, 67% of companies do not have effective approach to the performance management. That
Mm-hmm.
leads into two-thirds of the whole workforce not being involved into their day-to-day work. 70% of employees say that they actually leave their managers and not the companies, because in 65% of the cases they do not receive effective and constructive feedback. So our solution was to build a psychologically safe place where everybody can kind of um, share their feedback and know what is required from them to succeed. Have align everybody around company's mission, align around goals, and also provide regular feedback. Yeah. So this is Ply. Um, I think let me just show you some Yeah, let's start with the teams. So to start, basically using Ply, you would have to create your teams, how many you have. And do you use like Slack or Microsoft Teams?
We use Teams. Yeah.
Teams. Okay, great. So you can connect your Teams channel with the help of Webhook, and then all the notifications and all the relevant, updates will be pushed there. Team purpose icon pretty straightforward here. Then you add your people. Also, like standard job title managers. One person can have a few managers. Teams. One person can be a part of a few teams. And also access level. So pretty much the standard user can just go inside the platform. Let's say fill out his or her performance review or update their OKRs or like set a feedback. If you have admin or HR admin, you can actually have access to the analytics, to the dashboard, and and you can also create those like surveys or performance reviews and so on and so on. Yeah, and the way you invite users, there are a few. You can either add them via work email, so just manually add them. You can share the link so that everybody can join, or we have single sign-on feature so that they can sign up with their corporate email. So if they have corporate email in their email, they can just sign up. All right. I would want to start with personal development plan, but I think I'm going to show you the reviews first because the kind of workflow most of the companies have on our platform is they conduct this kind of performance reviews, like you said, annual, and then let's say manager schedules one-on-one with the employee, and then they discuss their personal development plan, right?
Yep.
Is that kind of how it works in your company?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, yeah, let's start with the reviews. Here you have, this is already like the reviews we also have like question bank, pool of the frequently used like questions. You can change them, edit them, add your own, delete ours. And we also have templates. So 180 performance reviews, 360-degree performance review, and leadership performance review. So, we can do this. Let's say we can create a new review cycle. Say it, Daniel performance review. You can add tag, it's optional. We can make it like 360 review, for example, and just introduction for everybody to understand what is going on. This is an annual performance review, for example. Save and next. After that, you basically add the recipients and the reviewers. So in this case, it would be me. And in the reviewers, you not necessarily have to find each and everybody and like kind of include. So you can put just like sales team, and it will automatically put all the people from sales team. We can put, let's say, marketing, and we would also like to get the feedback from our CTO, for example. So this is the way how you create, basically add the participants. And once again, it typically wouldn't be just for me; it would be for the whole team. So here in the recipients, okay, didn't save. Here in the recipient, you would just add more people from that team. And you can either include or exclude self-validation. That way, I would have to answer the questions about myself. Right. Right. Save and next. Here we can, let's say, add straight away 360-degree performance review, right? And here we can just edit them, add hours, delete. But just to give you an idea, let's say we have this question, linear scale question, which is the most common type of question. Here we can pretty much edit the competency. We can edit whoever will be responding to this. We also have, you can add more. Let's say if you want to rate it on a scale, from 0 to 6 or from 0 to 7 or from 1 to 10. And you can also change the naming. So in case in your company, it's not often exceeds expectations, it's something else, you can always change that. And you can also make question required, non-required. So yeah, a lot of room for customization here. And also you have like open-ended question, which is just like a free text, basically. I think it's pretty clear. And also you have headings to kind of structure your performance review. So we're gonna save next. And the next thing we do is we set up the visibility. So pretty much with whom we would like to share the results of this review. So if you'd like the recipient, the person who was reviewed, to receive these results, we would include the checkbox. And then if we want it to be anonymous or non-anonymous, we select the appropriate thing. The same thing for the recipient's manager. So for my manager, if we want to share it, if we want to make it anonymous or non-anonymous. And also we have a feature that allows HR admins or specific HR managers to review and calibrate review before actually sharing it. So, to check for any, spelling mistakes, or just to increase scores if they're too low. So you also have that function. Right. And the timeline, pretty straightforward here. Is just the start of the review cycle, deadline for the reviews, and end date. And for you not to, as an HR person, to go and manually type everybody to remind them, they have a standard.
Those checkboxes.
Yes, absolutely. So you have these standard notifications like 2 days, 1 day, and 4 hours before the deadline. And you can decide whether it could be email notifications, Slack, and specifically for your workspace, we can also add Teams notification. I know we have that developed, just most companies use Slack. That's why we excluded it here. So yeah, this is when it comes to performance review creation. Do you have any questions?
Not yet.
All right.
Let's just keep going through.
All right. No, absolutely. Now we can take a look at the finish. So here, let's say product team Q1 review, right? We can view the, here, this is how you would actually analyze the reviews. So by specific recipient, let's say. Here we see on the left self-evaluation, on the right the evaluation of Anna's peers, right? And let's say here we see that, greatly exceeds outstanding, right? And then you have this sort of competency metrics where you can compare self-evaluation to peers evaluation to manager's evaluation and make the appropriate changes to the, personal development plan, and discuss that during the meeting with the manager. You can also export it.
Is there any other way to visualize that?
Says it again?
As in, are you able to visualize those outcomes in other ways, so in different graphic formats?
This is like there is a way, but specifically for like inside the specific recipient, that would be the only way. But once you analyzing the whole
the group,
like the group or
okay.
all of your teams, you have way more analytics. I'm gonna show you that in a second.
Yeah.
So you can export that as a PDF. Let's say use it during the meeting, or just attach to your personal development plan. And here you have all the reviewers, so you can export all responses and just store it somewhere. That would be in the CSV format. And now analytics, here you would select, let's say, product team, and then you have these, select as many as possible, and then you would add like questions or scores. So let's say you want to compare teamwork. You see it's a demo environment, so not many data here. Okay, let me find something. Should be
find the data.
Productivity now. Okay, great. Okay, performance, for example, communication. Here we go. Might be feedback. No, but it gives you an idea. So here you can basically sort by recipient, by direct manager, by team, or location if you have a few locations or like a few offices.
Can you do year-on-year comparative reports?
So here you would basically select the cycles from a certain year. So you would have like Q1 2022, and you would select just 4 of them. But to compare them,
Can I lay them? Could I lay them side by side, like individual metrics? So performance. Could I have Q1 22, Q1 23, Q1 what 22, 23, 24 laid up side by side,
I
so
don't think
that we can
so.
see the team progress
Yeah,
in that
that
space.
totally makes sense. That makes sense what you say. I think it wouldn't be possible. However, I will definitely let our product team know, because that makes sense. Here, you would like almost what to say? It's not like you comparing something with the past. It's more like you comparing performance amongst the team right now. So
Yeah, that's amongst individuals, so you can get a snapshot of where you are right now,
correct. Yeah.
which is that's absolutely needed. But yeah, definitely being able to visualize that growth, to know that whatever we've been doing has been the right thing from all perspective.
Sure. That makes sense. I will definitely let our product team know. Yeah, and here basically by all teams, users, locations, birthday, genders, and you can also edit scores. So
Yep.
your competencies, delete hours, edit them, everything you want. So yeah, this is when it comes to the performance reviews. Like I said, the next kind of step in the workflow would be scheduling this one-on-one meeting. Manager would schedule one-on-one meetings with their employees. So you go inside, create one-on-one, let's say, Rick CEO. And here, if you connect the calendar, you'd be able to select a certain like a time frame. So recurring, let's say it would be once a week, twice a week, once a month, so whichever the frequency is. Here we already have like a talking points, but in general we have like a more than, I'm not sure, like 50 different occasions, depending on what type of meeting it is. Let's say if that's a performance review, or if that's an onboarding or something like that, you have different talking points. And here you let me see. Yeah, that's because Rick doesn't have the personal development plan. Okay, I'm pretty sure Mia should have one. Okay, Mia doesn't have one. Great. Yeah, Gustav have one. Yes, Gustav. Great. So yeah, you see, and in the context panel before, of course, that appeared, because in the personal development plans, you would have to create PDPs for the employee that you want to have the meeting with. Well, let's say Gustav has already this personal development plan. So here it's just a standard template, basically. You have setting goals, so 1 year goal, 3 years goal, 5 years goal. Goals. You have personal analysis, once again based on that performance review that we ran before. So we identify strong sides and weak sides, clarifying skills and sources. So whichever skills would like to increase and develop, and we actually come up with the action plan, so that not that we like kind of talk about it and then everybody forgets, and then the next meeting comes and was it done? Oh no, I forgot about it. In personal development plan, you actually have the deadline date that you can set up. So let's say we discussed it, and then we have you. I want you to be done to be done by August 1st, and you assign August CDO and whatever the action plan is or the to do is. And the next time you can just open the context panel and see and check whether it was actually being done or not. And you have revisions, so month, 3 months, half a year, and so on and so on. Yeah, I think I'll pause right here. I you mentioned that personal development plans was like were the most important thing for you. So how does it look for you?
Yeah, I mean that looks like a fairly standard approach to PDP. When you are just the technicality sides of that, I mean, this is just a template. We can modify that, correct, to whatever we want it to be. Yeah, that's just a text field. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, cool. Firstly, you said it connected to calendars. Is that got an Outlook integration
Yes,
in there?
we have
Yeah.
Outlook and Google, like Google Workspace, Google Meet.
Yeah, beautiful. And when you're looking at individuals' progress, I think you were looking at the analytics for individuals, and I asked about can you do year on year visualization? Is there anything within the PDP template, I don't know, that you can sort of visualize the growth of the individual in there as well?
Let's see.
And maybe that's not something that happens in here, and that's totally normal as well.
Yeah. So we have another feature which is the objectives.
Yeah, go for it.
Which is basically like OKRs, like goal settings, and so on and so on. Right here, you actually have in the feed, you have the history of the update, so you can see how specifically Anna contributed to the progress of the specific objective, which is usually taken into account while creating those performance reviews. But I can't think right now of anything that would give you, as you mentioned, that would totally make sense. But for you to compare their like past selves and their current selves, so we had an idea of, and we actually currently working on that, to have a specific tab here, which would be called something like summary, which would, with the help of AI, kind of summarize all the results of Anna through like objectives, feedback, reviews,
That would
personal
be,
development
yeah, that
plans.
was going to be my next thing. It would be really great to have. One of the things that we're striving towards is getting a high level summary of an individual on a page, and from a like, maybe it's a 2-page thing. These are your actions moving forward for the next 12 months or whatever it is, and this is where you've been and this is what you've achieved. So being able to visualize that is something that our managers are keen to have. So
Sure. That makes sense. We received a lot of feedback like that, because sometimes C-level, they don't have time to kind of browse on the platform and open
they do
everybody.
not.
Yes, open everybody's
they're like,
profile.
less boxes for me to tick, please.
Exactly. You just want to look and have the summary of the whole person on one page, and that makes
Exactly.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, what we have right now is the standard template for the personal development plan that you can edit, and in the private notes, just your private notes about Anna, basically.
Yeah, cool. Tell me about the praise tab.
About the pricing. We actually
No,
recently.
not the pricing. I've seen the pricing. That's so good.
Okay.
The praise tab.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah. So praise tab is yeah, straight to the pricing. Praise tab is basically something that you want, kind of, what I say, just to congratulate someone on their achievement. They did good on the project. They work well. They close their OKRs, or they have a great feedback from their managers, whatever. So you would have these sort of like basically the avatar of a person, and the short message, the values that was kind of reinforced, and here just the reactions, and it will be pushed to the team's channel, so that everybody can kind of react and build this healthy, productive, high achieving culture.
Excellent. And can you tell me within that praise is there like a template element to that where are there tags, aren't they, that you've got on those individual?
So the way you create is that give praise, you select the user, that would be Olivia, the HR.
Your message. Yeah,
so cool. Recognized values, those you can add it, so whichever.
yeah, that's my question. Okay, cool. So
Yes.
we can add in our own values in there that people can call out on.
Yes.
Great.
You have your own values.
Where did that happen? Just out of curiosity. Where does that happen in the platform? Where do you do that?
Where do you edit them? Okay, I think it should be in the, let me see, workspace settings, values. Yeah, here we go. So
Cool.
you have these, and whichever the values of your company, you can add
Excellent.
them here. Yeah.
And from a individual versus the HR admin
Mm-hmm.
or manager viewpoint, like what does it look like for each user? Will they see all of those tabs
No,
on
no,
the
no.
left
They
hand
would.
side, or what will they see?
So let's say in the reviews they would say just my reviews, and if that's manager
Mm-hmm.
direct reports, right? They don't have
Mm-hmm.
manage analytics, questions, templates, scores. Same for
Mm-hmm.
the surveys. We actually recently added it. It's a really cool feature. I'm not sure if we have time to cover that, but it basically allows you to check, weekly or monthly on your employees how they doing, what is their like well-being, so-called like
Yep.
ENPS score, right?
Yeah.
So
How
here,
is that powered? Sorry, how is your surveys powered? Is that through your platform, or do you use something else to do that?
no, it's exclusively on our platform. I know that
Yep.
many people they use in like Typeform or other things. It's just
Yeah.
our own kind of development. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I can send you like the screenshots of our ENPS. It looks really good and also really intuitive.
Nice.
So yeah, in terms of that, let's say objectives, you have just you just have access to your own objectives or your team's objectives, but you can only update the key results where you are the owner, which makes sense because
Mm-hmm.
you work on them. One-on-ones, you have your meetings, and that's pretty much it.
With the objectives, is there a way to import anything in there, like a CSV or anything like that, to create objectives with?
Import, you mean like download into our system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid not. You'd have to create them from scratch, or we also,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, like almost with everything on our platform, you have more than 100
Template
templates
options.
with the best
Yeah.
practices, which is also convenient,
Yep.
so you can
Yeah, cool.
kind of review that.
I want all the worlds. CSV and templates, please.
Okay, sure. You can
That's all
actually
right.
send your like CSV file. We can upload it for you. I guess it wouldn't be a problem if you'd like,
Oh, okay.
if you'd work that.
That's cool. Yeah. That's definitely an option. All right. You were about to show me something else.
No, I think that's it. I mean, in terms of like just a brief overview of our platform. So you shared plenty of feedback. I can also provide you with the 14-day free trial if you'd like to, for you to kind of play around and test it yourself.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
I'd love that.
Okay.
If I don't get a chance to look at it in the next fortnight, can you extend that if needed?
Uh, in this case, let me just because it expires within like 24 hours or something. I mean, the link specifically. So I can just send you after
Uh,
like 4 or 5 days, and so that you.
Maybe can I just send you a message when I'm ready to start reviewing it, and you can just flip me a link?
Okay, okay,
Will
yeah,
that
we
work?
can we can
Is
do
that
this way.
a better way to do it? Yeah. I'll
All
block
right,
in some time in a week or two
all right,
and do that.
all right,
Yeah.
all right. Sounds good. And yeah, just
Excellent.
I have last question. Like, if you could walk me through the like decision making process, like how would you decide on the right platform? Are you reviewing any other solutions at the moment, and what is the process?
Yeah, we're looking at a few different options. We are a small public entity that's owned by the Australian government or Victorian government, and so sometimes our hands are tied in terms of how we do our procurement. I'm
Mm,
trying to find a solution that fits us as a small organisation. We only really want to do exactly what your platform does. That's why we're sitting having a conversation,
yeah.
because the rest of our payroll and HR management is done through different systems that won't change. And for us, the decision making process normally works. I do the discovery, take it to the team. I will have already had a conversation with our exec team around what they want to have, what they want to see, and then I'll come back to them with a proposal of 2 or 3 options. They might do a demo on 1 or 2, and then make a decision about what they want to do from there.
Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty standard. In this case, I'll just recap our conversation. It was like a brief sort of points for you to have that, and also I'll send you the presentation in case you'd like to
Yeah, that would be
present.
excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I think yeah, the time is up. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. If not, I'd be glad to stay in touch and hear from you soon.
Yeah, excellent. No, that was great. It was good to have a look through. I definitely want to have a little play in the trial and see if it's going to work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
All
but yeah,
right. All
that's
right.
great.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for your
Awesome.
time. You have a good one.
Same to you. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.